guys, welcome to the channel. Today's video I'll be giving you guys a quick guide on how to do a lot of damage towards the brand new event boss, Black Feathers. That's what I'm going to call him because his name is complicated. But before I get started on the video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and also turn on post notification bell so that you guys can always stay tuned as I post new videos. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are new here on the channel, I have a Discord server, so if you guys have any questions regarding various games like Reverse 1999, Top Gun New World, and other games like Honkai Star Rail, you can join the server by going to my channel description. You see the server link there, and I'll also post the server link in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into the video. So as you guys may know, we have the brand new event boss. So as you guys can see, I'm literally in rank 253. As a free-to-play player, that's actually pretty good because, you know, Wells in this game, like if we look at the Wells, they are like, look at this damage right here. That is literally 7 billion damage. That is insane. So the fact that I'm like in the top 16%, that is actually pretty solid. So the team that I'm basically using against this boss is this team right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the build and how I set up this team. So if we look at our Rachel, I'm gonna put it right here. If we look at Rachel, of course the build that I have on her is of course the attack speed build. That's pretty much like the best build for her because it allows her to do a lot of damage. I'm gonna go ahead and click it for you guys. As you guys can see, if I click right here, this is pretty much what the set can do. If you guys haven't watched my attack speed set video already, basically attack speed set, it allows her to do as much damage as much as possible when she's not hit for 5 seconds. You basically don't want Rachel to get hit for at least 5 seconds, because once she gets hit for 5, like if she gets hit before that 5 seconds, she won't be able to proc that 50% attack. Now, why do I have the max HP set? That is the real question. Let me go and take that off, and I'm pretty sure it should be, yeah, we should not be having this set on her. It should be, yeah, there it is. Yeah, attack speed right here. Let's equip that. And then right here we should be putting, I'll just put this for additional defense and crit rate. So that's pretty much the set that we have on her, is attack speed set. And for, of course, her exclusive equipment is level 37, and then her report is maxed out, so she literally has 364 accuracy and 438 evasion. The accuracy is really good, which allows her to land her targets more, and then her critical damage is around like 58%. So that's pretty much Rachel's build. Now when we move on to Yeon, the build that I have for Yeon is the max HP set. Now the reason why I have this set on her is because she's going to be in the back row with Rachel, and then she's basically going to provide that a barrier for Rachel, and on top of that she's going to give Rachel energy, because as you guys can see right here, the 2-piece set effect increases Yeon's max HP, which is actually pretty good. And then for the 4-piece set effect, the ruinous barrier is granted to all allies in the same row as the wielder. So basically Rachel, she's in the same row as Yeon, so she's going to receive that barrier, and the barrier lasts for 10 seconds, increasing the allies defense by 50% and restoring their energy by 50 for every second. So not only are we providing energy to Rachel, we're also giving her additional defense so that she can actually survive. So that's pretty much the build that we have on our Yeon, and of course we're putting her in the back row with Rachel. And then exclusive equipment, level 30. Her equipment is not officially maxed out yet, we're still working on it. When we look at her accuracy and evasion, her accuracy is around 435 and her evasion is around 285, so not bad. Now when we move on to our next character, is pretty much Uric Mazino. Now Uric Mazino, he pretty much has the same max HP set like Yeon. He's going to be in the front row, so he's going to provide that max HP, and also he's going to provide that barrier and energy restoration to the people who are in the same row as him. So that's pretty much Mazino's, that's his task in this team. His task is to basically provide the barrier, right, because he always procs his barrier, so he's going to provide additional barrier with this equipment set, and on top of that he's going to give additional defense and additional energy to everybody in the front row. Now when we move on to our Dead of Zahard, Dead of Zahard is going to use the lifesteal set. That's the set that we're using on Dead of Zahard. This set basically allows him to have more survivability and allow him to stay basically on the field for a long period of time so that he can do as much damage as much as possible. And then for Endorsi, of course Endorsi, she's there to do damage, and we haven't unlocked her carrier yet, but her accuracy is sitting around like 426, and invasion is sitting around 286, and of course her critical damage increase is 46%, and she's pretty much there to block his energy, the boss's energy, so that the boss won't spam energy, because the boss pretty much has attack speed, and the fact that Uric Mazino can reduce swiftness, he can basically reduce his attack speed. So this is pretty much a team that I'm going to use. Now let me go ahead and give you guys a quick showcase. Now the buff that you guys want to pick is, don't pick the defense buff, you want to pick the attack buff, and the reason why is because it says increases allies attack by 20% if they are all of the green element. So if your allies are not green element, they're not going to receive this buff. So make sure that the team you're using, they pretty much are a green element. So pretty much, you know, the collab characters and Dorsey, etc. So let's go ahead and select that buff and let's see what we could do. And one thing that I noticed about my attempts is that every single time we reach like the 10-second mark or like the 20-second mark, we always do a bunch of damage. Like Rachel she does nuclear damage once the timer reaches 10 seconds or 15 seconds. That's when she does absolutely insane damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet for you guys so you guys can watch this gameplay. So that was pretty much the attempt. Now, like I said, it is kind of RNG to get like, you know, the best results, because if we come over here to like the damage, as you guys can see, Rachel doing around 36 million damage. Now, the most damage I did, I'm gonna go back here for you guys. The most damage that I was able to do was around like, I think 92 million damage in total. Like, yeah, 93 million damage in total, as you guys can see. This was my best attempt right here. And the damage that Rachel did was just absolutely insane. She did around like 70 million damage. It was crazy. So of course it's RNG. There's going to be moments where you can land nuclear damage, but I'll say out of all the teams I've tested so far, this team is actually consistent. And of course, if the other collab character, I forgot her name, but I think it's Shinhei, if she was pretty much around like purple stars, I would have used her in this team, but she's not really, you know, maxed out right now. Like if we go down, she doesn't really have a lot of copies, so it's like she's not really tanky, and she doesn't do a lot of damage compared to, you know, Child and Dorsey and the characters that I'm using right now. So I'm pretty much trying to get more copies of her so that we could get that additional attack, because without the 3 green stars, I feel like she's not going to do as much damage because she doesn't have that attack buff. So we're pretty much trying to get a lot of copies of her, and then I'll test her against this boss. But this is pretty much the best team that I have for this boss. And of course, for Child and Dorsey, another good thing about Child and Dorsey is when we look at her passive, when the death sentence debuff, so basically the snake charm, so basically when she dies, and then when the snake charm indicators on like basically the character, the boss is going to receive additional damage. So if we come over here, it says applies damage instead of instant death if the target is a boss. So if you're going up against a boss, I'll say that Child and Dorsey, her passive can do some pretty decent damage when she applies the snake charm effect on the boss. So that's pretty much, you know, the team and how good it is. Now let's go ahead and try another attempt. Let's see if we can actually land that, you know, 93 million damage or even more. So let's see what we can do. So as you guys can see, we did a little bit more damage there. Like I said, all it comes down to is RNG, but that is pretty much the team that I have for you guys. Like, that is honestly the best team that I can find so far because of the additional attack buff that you literally get from, like, the fact that you get additional attack for green elements. I feel like, you know, the green team is literally the best option so far. And I tested Hwaryun. If you guys are wondering whether or not Hwaryun is good, Hwaryun, she doesn't really do good damage against this boss at all. Like, the only thing she's pretty much good for is providing the barrier and swiftness buff to your team, and that's pretty much it. And of course the attack buff. But other than that, she doesn't do really good damage because this boss can basically evade everything. Like, his like invincibility is absolutely insane. So you basically have to use characters like Rachel and Dorsey, this character right here, because she's pretty good with Rachel. The reason why she's in this team is of course to provide that barrier for Rachel so that Rachel can do additional damage. But of course, the more you level up your characters, the more damage you can do. That's all it comes down to, and the more accuracy you have. But that's pretty much the team that I have for you guys. Put your thoughts down below in the comment section of what you guys think. If you guys have any other teams, like, you know, any other recommendations, please feel free to type in the comment section, because I want to see, you know, multiple options. I don't want to just see, you know, just one option and that's it. I want to see, like, I basically want to see a lot of teams, different team comps against this boss. But this is pretty much the only team that I've like pretty much found so far. But yeah, I'll be leaving the video at that. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate you all for watching this video. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.